the lever action rifle. People say the sound of a shotgun, but how about the sound of a lever action? Come on, man, that's sweet. The gun that won the West. Cowboys, outlaws, buffalo hunters, you name it. Fast forward 150 years, and they're still awesome. But what happens when you drag that Cowboy classic into 2025? Cowboy meets John Wick, or maybe something out of Badlands or Fallout. Mr. Nobody from John Wick 4 ain't gonna have nothing on this. The Henry repeater showed up in 1860, then the Winchester 73 carried the torch. These rifles changed the frontier, faster reloads, more firepower, simple to run. People called it the rifle you could load on Sunday and shoot all week. If they were impressed with the lever action, I wonder what those fellas would have thought about a good old belt fed. Belt feds are badass. But here's the thing, lever action design hasn't really changed much in like a century. They're great for nostalgia, I love them, they're beautiful guns. Not so great if you want some more kind of modern amenities, right? Your optics, your rails, your lights, your thermals. So that's where our good friends at Henry and Ranger Point Precision come in. Now we're not starting off with the brass receiver octagon barrel kind of classic, because in my opinion, those rifles are beautiful and they're perfect just the way they are. So what we started with was a Henry X model in 4570 Government. Classic action, synthetic furniture, threaded barrel so you can thread on flash hiders, muzzle brakes, or a good old whisper pickle, and chambered in a caliber that is basically like God slapping you with a log.
I'd say it did the job, but it's what that kind of shit deserves. Nobody should be drinking this shit.
Regardless of what your girlfriend has told you, size matters. And the 4570 is definitely the guy she told you not to worry about. The 4570 has been around since like 1873. Back then it was flattening buffalo. Today it still hits like a truck. With today's modern loadings, you can get this stuff in everything from like 405 grain soft nose, 325 grain with ballistic tips. Those mini missiles are going at like 2,000 feet per second and have over 3,000 foot-pounds of energy. They are not fucking around. And let's not forget subsonic. You got a 410 grain lead softball of destruction for when you want to let that whisper pickle eat. 4570 ain't cheap, but you have some good options regardless of what your needs are and what you're trying to achieve. The rifle already ships from the factory with some M-lock and a suppressor ready muzzle, so it's already fairly modern. But I think we can step it up a notch, or like 5. So here's what we added to come to this crazy looking thing right here. We basically went to Ranger Point Precision and said, just send it all. Side note, and for full transparency, we did reach out to Ranger Point and they did send us the stuff for this video, but they aren't a sponsor, no money exchanged hands, and as always, we'll keep everything unbiased. But do with that information as you will. I actually feel really bad because they sent this stuff probably 6-8 months ago. Probably maybe even a little longer. And with all the channel changes and everything going on, we're just now getting around to making the video. So big props to those guys for being patient. They haven't said a thing or sent us an email or complained or anything. So they've been cool to work with. What we got here is the Ranger Point Precision handguard pistol stock set, which includes the handguard, the rail, and the stock. You got an in-lock handguard, and then this super long section of pick rail along the top, basically runs full length. This gives you a ton of options for accessories. Lights, grips, bullet quivers, and with this ginormous top rail, you got plenty of room for any kind of sight, scope, thermals, night vision if you're into that kind of thing. This gun will hold way more shit than you want to spend money on or you have any business putting on a gun. The color I went with on this is the root beer finish because, I mean, honestly, I just thought it looked cool. like a burnt bronze, but it almost kind of looks a little like that traditional wood tone, which I thought was kind of cool. Give you a little bit of that classic look with the modern look. I don't know, I just thought the root beer was a cool color. Something different than just your standard black tactical everything. Got the modern pistol grip with adjustable cheek riser, nice pad on the back to help absorb some of that recoil. You got your traditional sling mount points on the front and back, and you have QDs if you're wanting more of a quick disconnect option. With the M-LOK on the side and on the butt, that gives you plenty of space to put these bullet quivers all over the place. Think of it kind of like a shotgun side saddle, but for 4570. Keeps the old hammer food right where you need it when you need it. Basically the closest thing you're gonna get to speed loader for a lever action. On top, we went with the Aimpoint Acro C2 red dot. It's got a 2.5 MOA dot, which is nicer for long range, more precise shots than the 3.5 on some of the other models. It also comes with the little flip up end caps, which isn't a huge thing, but I do kind of like it. Just kind of helps protect that optic, keep dust and dirt and rain and stuff out of it when you're not using the rifle. And at a pretty reasonable price for Aimpoint. I have to say Aimpoint because Aimpoint's kind of expensive, but for an Aimpoint, this is a pretty reasonably priced optic. It's mounted nice and low and tight to the bore, but honestly, if I ever decide that I'm gonna run a thermal on this, because this would make a badass hog gun, you'll probably want something with like a 157 height and some magnification, but super easy to switch out with the pick rail and all the quick disconnect stuff they have these days. Up a little further on the handguard, we have the Rail Scales HTP panels with the matrix pattern in black. These are the little bit more budget option scales that they make. They're made of a high temp polymer. They also make the same things, but in a G10, but they are way more expensive, so I just went with the HTP models. On the bottom, we also have from Rail Scales, the Carve P, which is a polymer hand stop, because when you're sending 4570 downrange, it's never a bad idea to have a little extra grip. Plus, I just in general like hand stops as just kind of an indexing point. On the tip here, we do have a muzzle brake that was sent by Ranger Point Precision, but we can very easily, I say easily, but the threads are long as shit on these things. And then when we need to be a little more quiet, we can thread on the old Yeetus Discretus. For the suppressor, we decided to go with the SilencerCo Hybrid 46. I've been very happy with other SilencerCo products that I've bought in the past. Wanted a direct thread option for this particular application, and honestly, there's not as many options when you get into this bore size as there is when you're like under 30 caliber. Tames the blast, still has a decent kick with supersonic loads, but at least it doesn't rupture my damn eardrums. My tinnitus is already bad enough when I'm trying to sleep at night. And with subs, it is impressively quiet, especially for the size round it's throwing downrange.
Just for comparison's sake, we're going to show you guys sub and super through the can. And I know this isn't going to be perfect, but I'm going to catch hell either way. If I do it, you guys are going to say, I don't know why you do it. You can't tell on camera. And if I don't do it, you're going to say, why didn't you show on camera? So just, I got a mic on the top. Hopefully you can somewhat tell the difference between subs and super through the old SilencerCo. Sub. Another sub. Now here's the supers. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell the difference, but my ears can tell the difference. I'll say the supers are still probably remotely hearing safe for like I wouldn't do sustained fire with that, but like occasional if you're hunting or something, like my ears aren't ringing or anything, even with the supers. But definitely a big difference.
So why the hell would you modernize a lever action gun? Hunting? The 4570 will drop anything in North America. Elk, moose, bear, hell, it'll drop a Buick. Home defense? Admittedly a bit overkill, sure, but imagine a home intruder getting center punched and sent to the spirit realm by a suppressed 4570. Now that's some straight Tombstone meets modern day shit right there.
I'm your huckleberry.
Although honestly, probably not the best option. You might go through the intruder and then through multiple walls before you stop this damn Scud missile. Over penetration could certainly be a real issue. Unless you could maybe, if you've got multiple guys breaking your hat, if you could somehow get them to line single file, and then at that point, it's just good ammo conservation. 4570 ain't cheap, man.
All right, so this was a supersonic we just shot, and you could tell, clean hole. I mean, right through 2 levels, clean hole, and then there, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's another secondary hole from a piece of sheetrock or wood or whatever. There's a wood splinter stuck in it. Definitely could get some over penetration if you're shooting in a house. It's zipping through walls. So let's try a sub though. A sub might have a little different situation. So that first one was a 250 grain. That was a super. Now we're gonna try to see if it's any less penetrating. We're gonna try a 410 grain sub X from Hornady. Try not to hit the same hole. These guns were originally designed for taking out buffalo and shit. So the thought of a little piece of drywall and some lumber stopping it, not gonna fucking happen. Just blows right through it. I know what some of you guys are gonna say, because I already know the comments, YouTube people, couch commando experts on everything. This was not an accurate test. 2x4s go this way in the wall, and in this part of the country, the 2x4s are more dense, so you can't compare the humidity of it. Just go fuck yourself. This was just to demonstrate that this stuff zips through stuff. So if you're using a self-defense, you need to be very mindful of your backstop. That's the point. Don't fucking overthink it.
4570 deletes bad guys faster than YouTube censors gun content. No, that's not winning me any brownie points with the YouTube fun police. Maybe no moderators will see this one. It's also 50 state legal, no pistol grip, no detachable magazine. Means politicians don't hate these. Yet. They'll find a damn reason to hate all of them eventually, but for right now, they don't. So it makes for a pretty good option if you're in a restricted state or you may be traveling to or through one. And like we said, with the modernization of it, it does give you the ability to throw upgrades that are from this century on the rifle.
Look, we're talking about these modernizations now. At no point, because you can put these modernizations on your rifle, does this mean that this is a good alternative to like a carbine, an AR-15, some kind of rifle, semi-automatic rifle, right? They're just leaps and bounds technologically ahead of what this is. And to demonstrate that, we're gonna run a Mozambique with a lever gun, which should be fun because I've never run a lever gun fast like this, and neither is Jason. We should look like a bunch of monkeys fucking a football here. Should be interesting. That ain't a true 7-yard station. You got short ass legs, son. All right, Mozambique 7 yards with a long ass lever action rifle, 4570 supersonic ammunition. Shooter, are you ready? Stand by. Nice, dude. You did far better than I'm gonna do, I guarantee you. Uh-oh. At least, dude, he's still screwed.
Down one.
That's a subclavian artery. He's still.
What's our time?
Time was. Oh, I need to get closer. Shit. Well, we're gonna have to redo that because the suppressor didn't catch the time. It pulls. You must. It's because of the recoil. Because you're center punching, then you're blowing this dude's whole fucking shoulder out of whack, and then that's the perfect shot right there. Right in the kisser. It's still not picking it up. Man, we're having a hard time. It's around 3 seconds. We're having a hard time. The suppressor's keeping the...
You've ever shot, but...
Shooters ready?
Yes, sir.
Stand by. Nice.
A little low. That's a line break. That counts.
With a bullet that big?
That's what she said. Point is, it's fun, it's devastating. And you can tell with the AR, they're what, sub 2?
A little over 1 second
usually is what we're shooting some Mozambiques in. But honestly, for technology from like 100 and some years ago, it's not fucking bad. Oh, just for comparison, we're gonna let Jason run one with the H&K. What kind of H&K is that, bub?
HK MR556A4, 11.5 with the Hux.
Hux, baby, Hux. Shooter, are you ready?
Who's ready?
Stand by. Ooh, 8.7. 8.7, so even faster. Let's see. I can't tell which ones were which. Those two and that line breaker, which is definitely different than the one that was out here. And an 8.7. That being said, that's a way smaller hole than that. So you're a little slower, but you're more devastating.
I don't know. Do with that what you will.
And the truth, cool matters, right? Sometimes you build a rifle because it makes sense. Sometimes you build a rifle because it makes you grin like an idiot. And yeah, if we're being honest, it's more cool than practical, but who cares? Most people build these because they look badass. And honestly, that can be enough. Sometimes it's okay to build a rifle just because it looks cool, you like it, and it's fun. So there it is, the Henry X Model 4570 modernized and me. Practical? Kinda. Fun? Absolutely. Badass without question. So would you run a modern lever gun or keep it a Cowboy classic with just wood, brass, and irons? For me, I like both of them. I have one of the old school brass ones. I love that thing. I would never change it. Octagon barrel, classic. But some of these newer models are super cool, and bringing in some modern features is super fun to shoot. Drop a comment below and let me know what your thought. Are these tactical lever actions a dumb fad, or are they pretty cool? Make sure you hit that like button on your way out, smash subscribe, and stick around for more builds, gear breakdowns, and basically all things gun on this channel. Best way to support the channel is to check out our merch, links down below, and we will see you guys in the next video. I mean, come on, everybody talks about the sound of a shotgun, but come on, dude, that's a good sound too. People never talk about that. They always talk about the shotgun racking is the scariest. Well, you know what? That's a pretty sketchy noise too. If you hear, you probably want to take cover. I'm just saying. Or if you're breaking into somebody's house, you probably want to get the fuck out. Especially if it's a 4570.